Hi, I'm Sue Daley and we're back with month 6 of Just Like a Jigsaw. So for month 6 we're working with the Whirly Gig shape, the 1-inch Whirly Gig shape, and in your package you would have received your month 6 leaflet and then your papers and your templates. So I'm just going to go and tell you how to put these together. There's a little trick involved with these, and it's not really a trick, but if you don't know it, then it could cost you some time and some fabric because you may just cut it out a little wrong. So I'm going to show you what that is and show you what I've done on my little design board here. So first of all, we've got our Whirly Gig template and our square. So this will stand alone. So you can use this just on its own, or you can incorporate a square with it. So first of all, we'll just work with the design that stands alone. So with a Whirly Gig, you can see with the papers that it is, if you have it one way, if you turn it over, it's going to go a completely different way. So you have to be mindful when you're cutting out your shapes that your fabric is always going the same way. And what I mean by that is when you layer it up, so often I layer 4, 5, 6, 8 pieces of fabric at a time, and often we put wrong sides together and then we fold it and layer it like this. So you fold your fabric in half and you'd have your fabric looking like this. So you'd have either wrong sides together or right sides together. With the Whirly Gig, you need to cut your strips before you start cutting, and then when you cut your strips you need to layer them with all of the right side facing up or all of the wrong side facing up. Doesn't matter which one it is, so long as it's always the same. And that doesn't matter whether it's for your patterns or your plains. So if you are making something like this is from our Little Things collection, all of our Whirly Gigs go the same way. So even if it's the plain, they all need to go the same way as well. So be mindful of that, otherwise you'll end up with cutting 2 projects instead of just one. One will go one way, one will go the other way. So what we do is we take our fabric, so I've layered up 4 pieces there, and we can pop it onto our rotating mat. And the one thing that I think if you're a bit unsure or you're worried that you're going to turn it up the wrong way, if you're fussy cutting and you're putting your sticky dots on, always make sure your sticky dots are onto your fabric, and that way you know you're always cutting it the same direction, or the same, making sure that it's going the same way. So I'm just going to cut these 4 out all at once. And when you lay them out, you can see that they will all go in the same direction. Okay, so we have those there. Over here I've cut, let's take those off. I've cut this one. I've actually fussy cut the stripe so that it is going, it's all cut on the same pattern repeat. So if I was to put this one together here, just without the square, we can have it coming out so it looks like that. So I've cut with the stripe in the same position each time. Over here I've done one and I've fussy cut this one as well. So I've fussy cut on the same pattern repeat. So when I glue those over, which I'll do in a moment, and you can see what happens to that pattern, most of that orange will disappear, but we'll have the little flowers coming out from the center of our block. Over here I haven't fussy cut, and that's okay too. On these ones, these are small 30s prints, and I haven't fussy cut any of those, but it's just gorgeous anyway. Now, fussy cutting is fabulous. That sometimes we can overdo it a little bit, and we all get addicted to these things sometimes. So with just going back to this one, I actually fussy cut the square. So if we're looking on our little pattern sheet here on the back, you can see we've incorporated a square into the middle. So then you can just make blocks and sew them together. So what we've done here is we've laid this one around this way, put the square into the middle, and we end up with a square, with a little square in the middle. So those little stripes will radiate out from the square that's in the center. Okay, so when we're gluing those, I'm going to take these ones and glue them. My glue pen. So because you've cut them all in the right way, we don't have to worry about which way they go when we're gluing them. So I just want to show you how the fussy cutting will work on this little block once we've glued it. So remember, when you're gluing, keep your glue away from the very edge of your paper, otherwise it's hard for you to sew them together. So you can see it's quite quick. These little blocks are really cute. They're great. They're portable. You can take a bunch of these with you when you're traveling or sitting around watching children's games or dentists, doctors, wherever you've got to sit and wait. You can just carry it in a little small bag. Nobody even knows you've got it. It's like fussy cutting in the fast lane. Here we go. So you can see because I've fussy cut that, maybe it might be better if I show it to you on the board, I think. Pop that over here. You'll probably see that. So we fussy cut it. So, you know, people are fussy cutting their hexagons and their six-pointed stars and their equilateral triangles, but it doesn't matter what shape you're working with, you can still fussy cut it and make a fabulous little design in there. So be mindful of that. If we're to put that in the middle here, these would radiate out from the center just by placing them in a different way. And the fun thing about the Jigsaw Club is that there are so many options. You know, there are so many ways you can put it together just like a jigsaw. So I hope that helps you this particular month with this shape, because you don't want to just keep laying your fabric, folding it and cutting it, because you'll end up with two projects. So just be mindful of that, and I'll see you next month.